How did ancient humans walk barefoot on burning ground without destroying their feet? Imagine standing in the middle of a desert. The sun is directly overhead. The sand beneath your feet is almost hot enough to cook food. You take one step, then another. Within seconds, the pain becomes unbearable. Now imagine doing that every single day. No shoes, no roads, no protection. For thousands of years, ancient humans crossed deserts, climbed mountains, and traveled enormous distances completely barefoot. And somehow they survived. So what was their secret? Did they have stronger feet? Did they feel less pain? Or did they know something modern humans have forgotten? The truth is stranger than you might think. Because the answer isn't hidden in shoes. It's hidden in the human body itself. And that's only the beginning of the story. For almost all of human history, shoes simply didn't exist. Modern humans have been walking the earth for hundreds of thousands of years. Shoes, however, appeared surprisingly recently. Our ancestors hunted barefoot. They gathered food barefoot. They climbed mountains barefoot. Even children learned to navigate dangerous landscapes from an early age. This seems completely unbelievable today. Modern people wear shoes almost constantly. Our ancestors had no such luxury. But there's something even more surprising. Ancient humans weren't blindly wandering across burning landscapes. They understood their environment extraordinarily well. They knew exactly where to walk, exactly when to walk, and exactly when not to walk. That knowledge often meant the difference between life and death. Most people rarely think about their feet. Scientists think about them all the time. Each human foot contains 26 bones, dozens of joints, and hundreds of muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Together, these structures create one of the most sophisticated movement systems ever developed by nature. Your feet constantly absorb shock. They maintain balance. They measure temperature. They adjust to uneven ground. They even provide information about your surroundings. Ancient humans relied upon this system every day. Unlike modern people, they weren't separated from the ground by thick rubber soles. Their feet remained strong because they were constantly being used. But bones and muscles weren't their greatest advantage. Their skin was. Imagine lifting heavy objects every day. Eventually, your hands become rougher. The skin becomes thicker. Your feet behave in exactly the same way. Scientists call these protective layers calluses. Ancient humans developed them naturally. Unlike modern blisters, healthy calluses form a protective shield without completely eliminating sensitivity. Researchers studying modern barefoot populations have discovered something fascinating. Their feet remain remarkably sensitive while still resisting damage. In other words, their feet became tougher without becoming numb. This natural armor protected them from sharp rocks, rough surfaces, and moderate heat. But even that wasn't enough. Because deserts presented an entirely different challenge. And ancient humans developed an ingenious solution. Most people imagine ancient humans walking beneath the blazing midday sun. That rarely happened. Ancient people were extremely intelligent observers of nature. They understood something simple. If the ground is too hot, don't walk on it. Many groups traveled during sunrise. Others preferred late afternoon. Some even traveled at night. This strategy allowed them to avoid the most dangerous temperatures. The moon became their companion. The stars became their map. Modern technology didn't exist. But ancient knowledge did, and sometimes that knowledge was even more valuable. Ancient humans rarely walked across open sand when safer alternatives existed. Instead, they constantly searched for cooler surfaces. They traveled across vegetation. They followed animal trails. They moved along rocky terrain. They rested beneath trees. Even small changes in the landscape could dramatically reduce heat exposure. Generation after generation, people learned which routes were safe. Children learned these paths from their parents. Eventually, entire communities developed an extraordinary understanding of their surroundings. Their environment became a map. Every rock meant something. Every tree meant something. Every path told a story. And that knowledge kept them alive. Surprisingly, heat wasn't always the greatest danger. Water was. Modern people often focus on the burning ground beneath their feet. But ancient humans worried about something far more important. Dehydration. Without enough water, the human body begins to fail. Muscles become weaker. Vision becomes blurred. Thoughts become slower. Eventually, survival itself becomes impossible. Because of this, ancient people planned their journeys carefully. They memorized the locations of rivers, streams, springs, and shaded areas. Some groups followed migrating animals because animals often knew where water could be found. Others traveled from one water source to another. Every journey became a carefully calculated decision. But there was another secret. Ancient humans didn't simply adapt their behavior. Over thousands of years, their bodies adapted as well. Evolution does not work overnight. It works slowly. very slowly. Small advantages accumulate across countless generations. People whose bodies adapted more successfully were more likely to survive. Their children inherited those advantages. Over thousands of years, human feet became remarkably efficient. The arch of the foot acted like a spring. Muscles became stronger. Balance improved. Skin became more durable. This didn't make ancient humans invincible. It simply made them better prepared for the world they inhabited. And their world was far harsher than ours. Yet some environments remained incredibly dangerous. Few places tested human endurance more severely than the desert itself. Long after the first humans appeared, many desert cultures developed astonishing survival techniques. Indigenous groups in Australia learned how to read tiny changes in the landscape. Tribes in Africa mastered the art of traveling efficiently across dry regions. Communities in the Middle East discovered how to protect themselves from extreme temperatures. These people understood something modern civilization often forgets. Nature follows patterns. If you understand those patterns, survival becomes easier. If you ignore them, survival becomes much harder. This knowledge was passed from one generation to another. Not through books, not through schools, but through stories, observation, and experience. Then, eventually, something changed forever. Human beings invented shoes. Scientists believe the earliest shoes appeared tens of thousands of years ago. At first, they were incredibly simple. Animal skins were wrapped around the feet. Plant fibers were woven together. Leather strips were tied around the ankles. These early shoes provided protection against sharp rocks, snow, and extreme temperatures. Life immediately became easier. People could travel farther. New territories became accessible. Entire civilizations expanded. But the story didn't end there. Something unexpected happened. As shoes became more advanced, human feet slowly became less active. Muscles weakened. Natural calluses disappeared. Gradually, people became increasingly dependent upon artificial protection. The tools that improved our lives also changed our bodies. Try walking barefoot every day for a month. At first, even small stones will feel uncomfortable. The ground will seem rough and unforgiving. But slowly, your body will begin adapting. Your muscles will become stronger. Your balance will improve. Your skin will become thicker. This doesn't mean ancient humans were superhuman. It means they trained continuously throughout their lives. Modern people spend much of their time indoors. Ancient people spent much of their lives outdoors. Their bodies developed accordingly. Perhaps that is the greatest difference between their world and ours. But there is one final question. Could modern humans survive in exactly the same way? The answer may surprise you. So, how did ancient humans walk barefoot without burning their feet? The answer wasn't a single secret. It was many secrets working together. They traveled at the right time. They selected the right routes. They developed natural protection. They learned from countless generations of experience. Most importantly, they adapted themselves to the world around them, instead of trying to reshape the world itself. Today, we rely upon shoes, roads, vehicles, and technology. Ancient humans relied upon knowledge, and perhaps that knowledge was far more powerful than we realize. The next time you put on your shoes, remember this. Your ancestors crossed deserts, mountains, forests, and plains with nothing but the strength of their own bodies and the wisdom they inherited from the people who came before them. And somehow, against all odds, they kept walking.